We knew, we always knew. And yet we wouldn't really do anything about it. We would walk on eggshells. We would dance around the truth. We would dance around that situation, afraid to question them, afraid of asking, what's really going on? Are you cheating? Because basically that's the question that we all are burning to ask. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kita, and this is Psychopath Exposure. Reading off a comment tonight from John D. Conqueror 777. John says, I've relapsed with the narcissist again. Past couple of days, his go-to, quote unquote, go-to, has been texting and blowing up his cell phone at all hours. Yet he acts like nothing to see here, then goes into the bathroom and texts up a storm. I can hear him typing for 30 minutes. That mofo's not the problem. I am. Thanks for sending that in, John. Gotta read the reply. Gotta read the reply by Kelly. Kelly says, you deserve better. Admitting you have a problem is the first step. That was cute. Thanks for that too. Yeah, I can totally empathize there. I remember my psychopath ex would go hide in the bathroom like really late in the night. And she'd be in there for like 30, 45 minutes with her phone, obviously. She wasn't showering. She wasn't going number 2. She was texting you know who. There was actually a night I remember I couldn't find my phone, and it was late and she was locked up in there, right? And I couldn't find my phone, and I was knocking on that door. I was like, have you seen my phone? Have you seen my phone? And at some point she's like, oh yeah, it's here. I'll be out in a minute. And she took forever to come out. I believe at the time, because I didn't have my phone unlocked at the time, that she went through my phone, probably saw all the texts I was already sending my friends, letting them know that I believe she's cheating and that I have all this information, that information, yada, yada, yada. So her gig was pretty much almost up at that time. But I digress. Point is, yeah, they do this a lot, John. They will hide and they act like nothing's going on. But they're in there texting the other supply. They're in there doing their dirty work. And it's kind of crazy how you know that this is what's going on. This has been happening time and time again. And this goes for everybody, including myself in the past. Like, we know, we knew, we always knew. And yet we wouldn't really do anything about it. We would walk on eggshells. We would dance around the truth. We would dance around that situation, afraid to question them, afraid of asking, what's really going on? Are you cheating? Because basically that's the question that we all are burning to ask. Are you cheating on me? That's it, right? And we were afraid to ask because we didn't want to be that guy, or we didn't want to be that girl, the one that goes there and makes the accusations. It is what it is. Kind of sucks looking back in retrospect, right? You look back and you're like, God damn it, I knew it all the time. I should have said something. I should have done something. You know what it shoulda, coulda, woulda done? Shoulda, coulda, woulda? Shoulda, coulda walked the fuck out of that relationship. That's what you shoulda, coulda, woulda done. That's what I shoulda, coulda, woulda done. That's what I motherfucking did too. That's what I motherfucking did. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But looking back, it stings. It stings because all your memories are warped and you have the cognitive dissonance. You weren't sure at the time. Remember, they were always gaslighting you. Always gaslighting you. Sometimes they would pit the new supply against you and tell you some other shit, or tell you, oh no, this is not what you think. This person is stalking me, or this person has this problem, and I'm just trying to be a friend. Okay, well, you can be a friend to your friend in bed with me, and you could show me your phone if you got nothing to hide. And it's not like I would want to read your personal conversations, but when it gets to the point that you gotta lock yourself up in the bathroom to text somebody for long periods of time and act like nothing's going on, but clearly we know what you're doing in there, then it might be time for you to reveal what you're doing. If there's nothing to hide, then you shouldn't have a problem showing it. You see, when the relationship gets this toxic already, it's already over. By this point, there's no saving it. Because this type of shit shouldn't even be going on. You really got to ask yourself, what is it that happened that led your partner from having to sneak around and sneak around? Like, I understand you're having an affair behind the scenes, maybe once, and that's inexcusable if you know me, right? But it's one of those things that nobody ever finds out it happened. It was a one-night stand. It was a quote unquote, it was a mistake. Yeah, fucker. Ain't no mistake, right? That was planned. That was your decision. But in something like that, they're not trying to like hurt you, because you're not going to find out. It's just one thing that happened and they're going to take that to the grave. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type of mindset. But when they're doing this type of shit in your own home, in your freaking bathroom, and they're in there locked up texting someone else, like, that's some fucked up shit. I remember also another example. I remember when she said that she needed to leave. Someone called her and she needed to take the call, but all of a sudden she was like, I'll be right back. And she just took off and left the premises, left the building. It's like, what do you mean? Do you really have to leave? This is something I can't hear. Who is this? This obviously is not your boss, right? It's obviously not your mom or your dad. It's someone that you don't want me to know that you're having a conversation with, and yet you give yourself away by doing that, right? This is what they do. This is what they do, and that's why you're admitting, and I'm glad you have the self-awareness to admit that at this point, he's not the problem, it's you. Now, let's not take away, let's keep the blame where it belongs, because at the end of the day, all of this is the narcissist's fault. They are the ones that created this, or not even created, they're the ones that broke the bond that you have. They're the ones that broke the trust. They're the ones that broke the vows. They're the ones that destroyed the relationship. They're the ones that broke your psyche. They're the ones that broke your nervous system. You stayed as a volunteer time and time again afterwards. Because see, with me, infidelity is the fucking cutoff. That is the deal breaker, the ultimate deal breakers. I got a lot of deal breakers. That is the ultimate deal breakers. I've got zero fucking tolerance for infidelity, for cheating. No, you guys you should not put up with that shit. I believe that no one here signs up for that, right? I'm sure you didn't sign up for a relationship where your partner was going to cheat on you a couple of times a year, a couple of times a month, a couple of times a week, and you would be okay with it. If you were, it's a different story. If you like that, if you're into that type of thing, that's what you do. That's great. That's your life, and you shouldn't be watching these videos. But I believe 99.9% of you did not sign up for that. So there should be a zero tolerance with cheating. So if this shit's going on, he's doing this time and time again, and like you say, you relapse, yeah, that's what it is, it's a relapse. It's a relapse. This is just like a drug. Remember, you're trying to get that fix, you're trying to get that hit. When this part of the relationship becomes so toxic that you feel trauma bonded to your abuser, it's like you want a hit of that drug again. So it is a relapse, okay? Now you can take blame, and let's not even say blame. I like to use the word ownership. Take ownership to realize that at this point you're a volunteer, and that at this point it's your decision to have taken this piece of shit back, and it can also be your decision to drop him once and for all. You have a choice. It's time to start making better choices if you want different results. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're gonna keep getting what you've always gotten. So why not try something else? Is this the only person in the world? This is the only person that you feel you'll ever be able to bond with? Really? You do? Well, how do you know? You won't get rid of him. You keep taking him back. So how do you know what else is out there? How do you know what else is out there with this person out of your life completely? See, that's the caveat here. Because a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse, they start dating again when they get discarded or ghosted after a certain time. But then it's like the new person just cannot fill the shoes of the narcissist, because they're still trauma bonded. They're still going nuts pretty much over that toxic entanglement and that brutal discard, because the discard is always brutal. However it was that you were discarded is always brutal. So you're trying to move on, right? You're trying to sleep with someone else to hopefully move forward with that. But if you didn't get that closure, which you pretty much never do with toxic people, not the type of closure that you want anyway, it's like nobody seems to be able to fill their shoes. But that's because the narcissist is still in your head. You're still attached to them by like some fucking invisible umbilical cord. But when you put these people behind you finally, when you do the type of work that I offer in my coaching program, the type of work that we talk about here, the healing, the reprogramming, the rewiring of your mind, right? Like through neuroplasticity, like doing and trying new things so that brand new ideas can spawn from these experiences, right? Neurotransmitters that have not been touched by the psychopath narcissist yet. Neurotransmitters that are pointing you in a different direction, totally different trajectory for your life, where you can experience happier, higher frequency, right? Higher vibration. When you do that type of work and you start attracting into your life better quality people, better quality problems, right? Because we're always going to have problems. Life, it's like you're either coming out of a crisis, you're in a crisis, or you're about to face a crisis. That's life, and that's how you grow, right? But the key is to have higher quality problems, higher quality crises. Is that even a word? I did that on purpose, okay? Yeah, so when you're vibrating at a higher level and you're attracting better people and better situations, better circumstances, better opportunities, and yes, better problems and better challenges, the psychopath narcissist and that nightmare starts automatically, moving behind you or beneath you, right? And when that happens, then you can really get a taste for what's out there. That's when you can really get a taste and experience new romantic connections that you never dreamed were possible, because the narcissist was taking up mental real estate and they weren't paying their rent. All right? They were living rent-free in your mind. Can you imagine that? Like, how many of you guys have been taken for thousands and thousands of dollars by your narcissist ex? I worked with a survivor, I think it was like 2 years ago. It was during the 2020 era. And they told me that they had doubled down, tripled down, up to $250,000 on some woman from some country that I will not name, but it's a country that's known for a high breed of gold-digging narcissists. $250,000. Obviously, this person had, he was well off, but can I have $250,000? Thank you right now. Gladly, I would gladly take it. Okay? I'm sure all of you would too. All right? So imagine being wiped clean of that amount of money, and this piece of shit is still living rent-free, right, in your mind. Like you're not even getting a cut of this shit, right? it's totally warped, guys. It's totally warped. So I feel your pain, man, but you know what? The ball is in your court now. The ball is in your court. It's up to you to make the decision that needs to be made if you want to get better, if you want to move past this. If you need help and you want to work directly with me, I'm a tough coach, but I do have a private one-on-one coaching program, and we can work together. And I'll make sure I get you in the right mindset to pretty much kick this guy to the curb. All right? So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for submitting that, and I love the reply that came on that too. Yeah, the first step is admitting that we have a problem, that we're powerless over whatever vice, even in this case, the vice is a psychopath, narcissist, X. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe if you already haven't. And I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.